are two things on this beautiful 420 day. First of all, can you read that? Yeah, you deviants. Second of all, if it gets people pissed off, it's probably worth talking about. We got another Ben Shapiro today. Roll the intro music.
Don't believe the lies, deceit. I can be more than a rumor.
So guys, since I've been on this kick of Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, which by the way, if you are already down in the comments spewing some hate, just give me some people from the left side, the more democratic side that I can make reaction videos to. Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson have the most views on YouTube. That's why I've been making them. So if you guys give me some people from the other side that have arguments as well in terms of popular videos, drop them down below and I'll make sure to get to them just to cover the whole spectrum, keeping everybody as happy as possible, which with these videos, you just don't do. I am prepared for the hate comments.
You dress like shit!
Y'all are coming with so much fire and gonna roast me that I will probably be able to only pee sitting down now. Let's get it, man. I'm not here to push my political agenda on any of you because I hate when people do that to me, so we are just checking this out. Cold turkey! That doesn't make any sense, but let's get to it.
Strong words from Vice President Biden, who heads the White House Task Force on Guns. My next guest has strong words for me. He says I'm off the rails on guns in America. Ben Shapiro,
oh God,
editor at large at Breitbart.com, author of Bullies: How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences Americans. So why am I off the rails, Mr. Shapiro?
You know, honestly, Piers, you've kind of been a bully on this issue because what you do, and I've seen it repeatedly on your show. I watch your show.
Dude, they're getting right to it. Tell me why you think I'm a bully. My God, dude. Also, Ben Shapiro's titles of his books are triggering themselves. It's so set up for failure, dude. This is not going to be any good discourse that we can learn from, I'd imagine.
Tend to do is you tend to demonize people who differ from you politically by standing on the graves of the children of Sandy Hook, saying they don't seem to care enough about the dead kids. If they cared more about the dead kids, they would agree with you on policy. I think we can have a rational political conversation about balancing rights and risks and rewards of all of these different policies. But I don't think that what we need to do is demonize people on the other side as being unfeeling about what happened in Sandy Hook.
How dare you accuse me of standing on the graves of the children that died there? How dare you?
I've seen you do it repeatedly, Piers.
Like I say, how dare you?
Well, I mean, you can keep saying that, but you've done it repeatedly. What you do, and I've seen you do it on
Oh,
programs,
God, it's awkward.
You keep saying to folks
it is
that
awkward.
if they disagree with you politically, then somehow this is a violation of what happened in Sandy Hook. And you have yet, I'd really like to hear your policy prescriptions for what we should do about guns. Because you say that you respect the Second Amendment, and, you know, I brought this here for you so that you can read it. It's the Constitution.
Oh, God.
And I would really...
He is so condescending, dude. Ben, you are a condescending little bastard sometimes. And he's wearing a blue tie. Peep that. That is interesting. Interesting to note. With his moderate to conservative views, typically they'd be wearing red. This is already dicey. God.
Like for you to explain to me what you would do about guns that would have prevented what happened in Sandy Hook. If you want to do what you did in the UK, right, which is ban virtually all guns, that is at least a fair argument. And we can have a discussion about whether that's something that we ought to do or not.
I've made it very clear what I want to do, which is exactly what Mark Kelly wants to do. And in fact, rather than address
let's talk about that.
Rather than address your comments to me about standing on the graves of children.
Oh, he's hanging on that.
Address them to Mark Kelly because he agrees with everything that I've...
Honestly, it's interesting from an argument's perspective, right? It's like people tend to have things really stick with them when they hear something 2, 3, 4 times. Ben Shapiro said standing on the graves of the children of Sandy Hook one time. Piers has said it twice. So if he doesn't like that, he's kind of digging himself into a hole where he's just repeating that. So it's going to be engraved in people's brains, whether they agree with that or not. It's just like he's doing himself a disservice by talking himself into a hole, it seems like.
He's saying, because he feels the same way as does his wife. They're gun owners. They both respect the Second Amendment of the Constitution. They don't want to take away anybody's right to defend themselves with guns.
They want to take away certain types of guns, obviously.
They want to take away assault weapons, which are capable with magazines like we saw at Aurora and Sandy Hook of unleashing a ridiculous amount of bullets.
Well, this is a question I wanted to ask you, Piers, because I've seen you talk about assault weapons a lot, and I've seen Mark Kelly talk about assault weapons. The vast majority of murders in this country that are committed with guns
are not assault weapons.
They're committed with handguns.
Okay,
so are you willing to ban handguns in this country across the country?
No, that's not what I'm asking for.
Why not?
Let me ask you...
Don't you care about the kids who are being killed in Chicago as much as the kids in Sandy Hook?
Yes, I do.
Then why don't you care about banning the handguns in Chicago?
We'll come to that. Let me ask you this. What was the weapon used at Aurora in the movie theater?
It's heavyweight. It's gut punches, dude. Rib blows. These hurt.
It was an assault rifle, sure.
Okay. What was the weapon used in the Oregon shopping mall?
I believe it was an assault rifle, correct?
Okay. What was the weapon used at Sandy Hook?
It was an assault rifle.
What was the weapon used at the incident around Christmas when the firemen were lured to their deaths, the New York State firemen?
And bought illegally? That was an assault rifle.
Right, so the last 4 mass shootings in America were all the assault rifles.
And
Real quick, so I like the fact how a lot of times when somebody asks a question in an argument like Piers did, hey, what was that weapon? When it's aiding in his point and hindering the person he's arguing's point, I still like it, the fact that Ben Shapiro answered directly without any justification yet. He's not giving his argument quite yet. He's answering those questions, and I like that. I think that that's something where typically for a lot of people, if Piers asked that question, they'd already start arguing and not even answer the question. Ben Shapiro answered the question and allowed him to keep asking questions and kept answering assault rifle. So now let's see what he says in retort.
That is the reason, Mr. Shapiro. And you can smirk at me, and you can laugh at me.
I'm not smirking.
And you can accuse me of standing on the graves of dead children.
I'm being a bully, yes.
But that is the reason that people like me and Mark Kelly and Gabrielle Giffords want to have assault weapons like that removed from civilian hands.
Your passion on the issue
point.
doesn't really justify the rationale for why you want to ban assault weapons, but not handguns.
You don't understand why we want to remove the preferred weapon of choice, these killing machines,
I would like
from
you to
the hands of deranged young men.
All I'm asking is for you to be philosophically consistent. If what you're worried about is the removal of killing machines from the hands of deranged young people, then maybe we should talk about a blanket gun ban. And let's get to what the left really wants here. And you say that you're for the Second Amendment.
Why is it about left or right? Because in Britain this never is about left or right, this issue. Why is it here?
Well,
I think that was a good catch on Piers's part. I think that a lot of times, and Ben's probably used to this from being in America, is that everything is politicized. Everything is put into two buckets. Everything is left or right. So good on Piers's part for being like, hey, dude, this is kind of a spectrum. It depends on where you stand. It's not just two buckets.
Right here is because fundamentally the right believes that the basis for the Second Amendment, and they believe in the Second Amendment, the basis for the Second Amendment is not really about self-defense and it's not about hunting. It is about resistance to government tyranny. That's what the founders said, and that's what the right believes in this country.
Which tyranny are you fearing yourself?
I fear the possibility of a tyranny rising in this country in the next 50 to 100 years. Let me tell you something, Piers. The fact that my grandparents and great-grandparents in Europe didn't fear that is why they are now ashes in Europe. So this kind of leftist revisionist history,
that is so
where there's
intense.
never any fear of democracy going usurpacious or tyrannical, is just that. It is fictitious.
Just to clarify your position then, the answer to Sandy Hook, as it was to Aurora, as it was to Gabrielle Giffords, as it was to Columbine, Virginia Tech, is you do nothing. Is that your position?
And that's not my position.
What is your position?
My position is that we have to calibrate laws that are designed to get guns out of the hands of bad people and keep guns in the hands of good people who want to buy them.
I'm an advocate for that.
How do you do that?
Well, I think one of the ways that you do that is by better screening for mental illness. I think that you do better background checks.
Was Adam Lanza's mother a good person?
I don't know whether she was a good person or a bad person. I know she was irresponsible with her guns.
Has there been any evidence to suggest she was not a good person?
No, but there's been...
See, and I don't like that standard, good person, bad person. What does that mean? Ben Shapiro differentiated where he's like, I'm not sure, but she was irresponsible with guns. So that's like, you start to get into weird arguments and twisting people's words when you get into semantics like that. Good person, bad person. I'm not sure. I don't know. See.
By your criteria, she would have been... Wait a minute. By your criteria of the good people should be allowed the guns and the bad people shouldn't.
Oh, I see where he got good
and bad. Allowed the guns.
She was an irresponsible person. She didn't keep her guns locked up. And that should be against the law. If you have a mentally ill person in your house... Right. So then we're talking about laws that we can both agree on, Piers. I don't know why you're disagreeing with me on this.
Then she becomes a bad person, does she?
Well, no, it's not a matter of...
See, okay, like, if we're going to hinge on that, we're going to hinge on the language. I think that is stupid. Let's get to the meat of it. Who cares if he said good, bad? Like, let's agree that that's a bad standard and move on. Like, we don't have to keep harping on that. That's my perspective. Jesus.
That's the criteria, good and bad. So is she good or bad?
You're right, Piers. I should have said responsible versus irresponsible.
Okay, there we go. This is just nitpicking bullshit.
She goes from good to bad.
No, she goes from responsible to irresponsible.
Let's take a break. Let's come back and talk more about this.
I don't think they got anywhere. I don't think that was good. I think that a lot of times with the left and right, like, they can find common ground, and it's almost like if you find truth or you find something that you minorly agree with the other side, I feel like a lot of people in today's day and age think that they're surrendering all their beliefs. They're like, if I believe a little bit of what Ben Shapiro says or Piers Morgan says, I've given up my side and I'm completely succumbed to what they believe. It's like, dude, no. What? Can you think freely for yourself? I don't know. Very interesting. I don't think that this argument was great. I think that they presented their sides a little bit, got hung up on some bullshit words, semantics of it all. I hope you guys liked this video. Y'all were asking for it. So with that being said, keep smiling, keep being yourself. Don't let anybody throw shade at you. I will see you tomorrow. That's a motherfucking fact. Oh yeah, this could get dangerous, but drop your comments down below letting me know what you think about the Second Amendment. Love you guys. Peace.